Alright, what's going on everybody, and welcome to another test game of Star Wars Ascendancy 1.0. This time we're going to be testing a second new capital ship for the new version coming up. So in the previous playthrough we tested the Pentastar alignment with their new Lucre Hulk. This time we're going to be testing the Imperial Remnant with the new Torpedo Sphere. So I think last time I might have said something about the Tector being in. However, we recently changed a few things around, which we feel works a bit better for everyone. Because the Tector is essentially just a smaller Allegiance or a bigger ISD2. It's another space triangle. It fills a lot of the same roles that are already filled for the Remnant, whereas the Torpedo Sphere is something that's fairly unique in the mod. It's essentially a planetary siege ship. It's something that we haven't included in either Ascendancy or Imperial Civil War before, although I've been sort of playing with the idea in both mods for quite some time now. So that all being said, keep in mind that this model and skin are still work in progress. It's actually a model that I may end up redoing in future versions, because a lot of what I'm working on right now is stuff that I just want to test the functionality of Substance Painter with. So the Lucre Hulk will probably get a touch up to its skin as we go. It's the same thing with the Torpedo Sphere there. So I guess without any more delay, we will get into the game. So we're going to be playing on a relatively small map. I'm going to be the Remnant, playing against the New Republic and Pentastar alignment. So you'll also see a few other balance changes that we've made. A lot of that relates to the Imperial Remnants. One of our testers pointed out a pretty ridiculous strategy that exists in 1.0, where you can essentially just rush super weapons as a Remnant and win fairly easily that way. So we've increased the cost of rushing all that stuff, so the World Devastators, the Galaxy Gun tech at least, and reduced the income you get for stripping planets, because you were essentially getting the free capital ship plus the resources from stripping the planet. So that should be a bit more reasonable now. We still want them to be more focused on super weapons than any other faction. However, it should be a bit more manageable. So I want a different background for this. Sure, orange. I guess we'll start out researching all that. Right now, since I'm just testing a lot of the abilities and stuff, the Torpedo Sphere still has the same icon as the ISD. We're going to change that pretty close to the release, really. A lot of its abilities are modified versions of the ones for the... I don't even remember what it's called. Core Tool Devastator from the... Yeah, I think that's it. From the Visari. So we'll build one just... We'll start building one just to show you what it is. But we won't build it for real until a little bit later. So there you go. It's a fairly obscure Star Wars ship. It's one that was mentioned a bit more. I don't even know where, but
what are your orders?
It's something that
Commander here.
Some warlords ended up with. They were built in fairly limited numbers.
We have found an apt site for further operations.
So we'll probably take this planet first. Altawar. Do we have enough ships? Yeah, we can probably start off.
Carrot Commander here.
So Altawar and Visar will probably be our first targets. We're playing on the Corellian sector map. There is one new map in 1.0 so far, but it's a bit bigger. I don't want to do it for a test game.
Star Destroyer ready.
Got a Star Destroyer ready apparently.
Moving to sector.
Turn in.
We have found an apt site for further operations.
I've still been playing around with a lot of the AI tags. Hopefully we'll be able to improve behavior there a little bit. Other than that, a lot of what we're working on is really just basic balance changes, some bug fixes.
What are your
We've
orders?
put we've stopped adding any new content
to
for
sector.
1.0 at this point, except for there is one more capital ship that I'm finishing for the Empire of the Hand. I want to make sure that that gets done before we release,
Moving to sector.
and
Hyperspace
Robin
jump complete.
is also going to be able to finish the Bellator for the full 1.0 release. That's sort of the two things that we're waiting on.
Reporting.
We want to make sure those are in,
We have
and
found an apt site
it's
for
basically
further
whatever we can fix until then.
Destroy
Then after that, I
target.
want to get into working on a lot of the bigger changes we have planned for for 1.1. I'm also
Destroyer
currently
here.
working on
Gun crews
2.2
fire at will.
for
Destroyer
Imperial
here.
Civil War. A lot of people have been asking when that's
Gun
coming
crews
out,
fire at will.
or yeah, basically just when it's coming out. And like we've said this in the past pretty consistently, that
Destroyer here.
we are finishing one. We wanted to finish 1.0 of Ascendancy before we even really got into a lot of the big work on
Commander here.
2.2 for SEW.
Understood.
So that is still in pretty early stages of development.
Star Destroyer ready.
Like, it's a very significant change that we're
Captain
making,
reporting.
or very significant changes
Gun
we're
crews
making. There's a
fire
lot
at
of new
will.
models and skins that have to be done.
Destroy that
Then there's
target.
going to be a lot of testing we have to do afterwards.
Star
Like, it's
Destroyer
not just going to be the kind of thing that
Gun
just
crews
shows up in the
fire at
download
will.
feed. You're going to have more news posts about what we're adding. You'll know before it comes out, really.
Destroy that target.
So the other thing with the Torpedo Sphere, I guess I will build one now, but it is not meant as a direct combat ship. You're not building this as something that can take on other ships,
We have
although
found
it
an
does
apt
have
site for
one
further
ability that lets it sort of do AoE damage with its torpedoes,
The Empire cannot
because
expenditure.
like, it wasn't the weapons weren't really designed to be used against other ships. The targeting wasn't that great. It's got a ton of proton torpedoes that is basically supposed to just launch at a planet, and it could annihilate planet defenses that way. But it's kind of weird too, because there's some conflicting canonical information about
All
it,
batteries open
where
fire.
one it might have been a Grand Admiral, it might have just been a regular warlord, but one guy had one and he just wrecked a bunch of ships with it, and some fleets were using them defensively.
Destroyer here.
So
All
they
batteries open
they must
fire.
have a bit more offensive capability,
We
like
have found
direct
an
ship to
apt
ship
site for
capability,
further operations.
than you'd think, considering that it's
Gun
described as
crews fire
having
at will.
no ability to target ships with its proton torpedoes whatsoever. But we decided to opt for the side of low ship to ship damage but really high siege damage.
Destroyer here. Moving to sector.
That's the design, at least.
Research
We'll see
complete.
how well it ends up actually
Star
working.
Destroyer ready.
That's
Destroyer
part of why
here.
we're
All
playing this
batteries
game.
Open fire.
Right, so we have it done over here.
Destroyer here. Moving to sector. En route.
So it's not a pretty
Moving to
design,
sector.
but it's
Lancer frigate
certainly
ready.
unique.
All batteries open fire. Destroyer here.
It's definitely a change from the basic triangles. Instead, it's a basic circle.
All batteries open fire.
Oval, really. It's called a sphere, but it's not spherical.
Gun crews fire at will. Moving to sector. Destroy that target.
So we're also still working on a lot of the VOs. It'd be nice. I'm just going to speed it up a bit. It'd be nice to have that, more of that done for 1.0
Star
when it comes out
Destroyer
of beta.
ready. Destroy
But again, that
that
depends
target.
more on what other people are able to do. There's not much I can say as far as what we are or aren't going to be able to do with it.
Commander here.
It's really just, a lot of it's written. Then it's just a case of how many people we have to record and how many people record what in the proper time frame. That's being handled by someone other than myself, so I also don't have as much information on that. It really depends on Elliot's time, or timelines, available free time, whatever you want to call it.
Star Destroyer ready. Star Destroyer ready. Captain reporting.
Alright, so there's one planet.
En route.
Let's see what we're doing for research here. Still need one more. One more lab.
Hangar deck secure.
Okay, we've got enough ships
Moving
that we
to
can go
sector.
around the Alta Wars route.
Captain reporting. Hangar deck secure.
As you can see, it's also a fairly bulky ship. We gave it some pretty high defenses.
Hyperspace jump complete. En route.
There's some smoothing
Moving to
issues with
sector.
it still too
Deploying to
that I'd
sector.
really like to fix.
Star Destroyer ready. Carrier on station. Destroyer here.
We'll upgrade that.
Moving to sector. The Empire cannot.
We've still been playing with a lot of the income rates as well.
Planet
I recently reduced them back to close to what they were in 1.0 from some really high numbers that we had.
New facilities.
But we'll see where they end up finally. It'll probably be a bit higher than it is right now,
Planet upgrade complete.
but lower than the values we were originally playing with, which is probably what you would have seen
Destroyer here.
in
Destroy
the
that
Lucrehulk test
target.
videos.
Facility is complete.
What can we buy? Nothing really. Really need these techs.
The Empire cannot afford such expenditures at the moment. The Empire cannot afford such expenditures at the moment. Star Destroyer ready. En route, moving to
Yes, I know,
sector.
we should go over here.
A new facility is complete.
So unsurprisingly, our economy is not great, though our military apparently is.
Captain reporting.
The AI is probably just
Gun crews fire at
dealing
will.
with some of the early ships.
Moving to sector. We have found an apt site for further operations. All batteries open fire. Destroyer here. Destroy that target. What are your orders? Come
Alright,
about.
so just some victories. I think, yeah, we have an ISD with that
An
fleet, so it should
Imperial
be
fleet is under attack.
easy enough to deal with.
What are your orders? Come
This one
about.
too.
Destroyer here.
It does have a few turbo lasers. It's gonna end up doing like the least damage out of any capital ship in the game, even including the Altor, I think, and even less than a bunch of some frigates, really. Because again, you're not really buying this ship for its anti-ship capabilities. You're gonna use it for
All guns fire.
the anti-planet
Fire
siege
point.
stuff. So Lord Verticast, when we're going to see the new hand ship. You'll see it when it's done. I'm going to do the same sort of video preview series as I've done with the Lucrehulk and now the Torpedo Sphere. But this is actually
Standing by.
coming up as my last week at my current job. So
Captain here.
after Wednesday, I'm going to be off. I'm going to try to work on it this weekend. Depending on how well that goes, I'll either record the video between Wednesday and Friday. But after that, I'm going to be spending about a week and a half in Niagara with my family. So you'd probably see it right after that if I don't get it done by then. I'm going to work on it while I'm in Niagara, and then because I'm only going to have my laptop, it's going to be difficult for me to put out any screenshots or video. So even if I do finish it in Niagara, you won't be able to see it for a little bit after, and then we're going to release the mod around then as well.
Captain here. Firing turbo releases.
So my plan right now is to leave this city next Saturday, so that's the 6th, I think, and then I'll be back, or no, 6th or 7th. Yeah. The 9th. Okay. I'm bad at that. So yeah, I'm leaving the city April 9th. Gonna work on some mod stuff while I'm out of town. I'm gonna be there for like 2 weeks. Because I'm not gonna have too much else to do. And then I'll come back like the 19th. Then I have 6 days until I start my new job. So during that time I'll work on a bunch of mod stuff and try to put out whatever I can before the release.
Reporting. Come about.
Because I told
Star Destroyer
Robin
Gun
to
crew
try to
on
have
the way.
the Bellator done by the 19th as well. So you might get to see, oh, you'll definitely get to see pictures of that when it's done. We've got a thread on the forums
Dreadnought cruiser
where we're going to be posting some work in progress shots as he works on that.
ready. An
He's got most of the
Imperial
model done, and
attack.
then he's going to start the texture. He's been working on getting a new job as well,
Report ready.
so that's been why you haven't heard from a lot of us very much in the last
Gun turrets engaged.
little while since release. I've been, like, we've all been working on some stuff sort of behind the scenes, but then that takes up a lot of time, and we have to make sure we can at least get paid and pay our rent
Hangar deck.
before we can work on the mod or spend too much time updating on the mod.
Wing commanders report ready.
Just going to try to speed up a little bit when we build up.
Stormtroopers have secured a planet.
So our ultimate goal, or not ultimate goal, but our goal with this version as far as the economy goes is to, relative to 1.0 beta, is we want to speed up the early game a little bit, but slow down the late game as far as income goes. So you'll see a bit of a faster start to the game, but by the time you get to end game,
Upgrade complete.
you won't see as many people able to build an entire fleet, lose it, and then immediately rebuild, where build times and travel times become the main deciders of who wins, as opposed to actual resource management. We're doing a lot more to address that in I'm gonna put the chat up actually. There we go. I'm gonna do a lot more to address that in
Gun crews report in.
1.1, as we mentioned a few times, but for 1.0, the main thing with that we're going to do is just work on income rates. It won't be at our final goal yet, but it should help quite a bit. I don't know if we can even win this part of the fight. Hey Connor, I'm good, how are you?
The Empire cannot afford such expenditures at the moment. Gun batteries ready. Planet upgrade complete.
That should be fine.
Hangar
The
deck.
fact we lost all those ships over here is not fine, though. We're still ahead of one person, or not one person, one faction as far as
A new
military
facility
strength
is
goes. So they're probably struggling a bit with the militia
Upgrade
forces.
Squad leader here. Squadron checking in.
The Empire cannot afford such expenditures at the moment. Planet upgrade complete.
Alright.
Destroyer here.
Should that be enough? A VSD strike 2 Dreadnought. Yeah, that's risky. Just get 2 or 3 Carracks. Pentastar alignment's over this way, probably the New Republic up this way.
A new
I don't know how
facility
far we're going to be able to get up this route before we get to... Oh, the New Republic's over here. So does it loop around this way? I guess it must. Yeah, because we already have
Commander
that
here.
scattered out. What am I saying?
A new facility is complete.
Carrot commander here.
Star Destroyer ready.
What has the weakest defenses?
Moving to sector.
This place.
Moving to sector. Hyperspace jump complete. Captain reporting.
I almost don't...
The Empire cannot
I think I'm also gonna have, or I'm definitely also gonna have to change a little bit of the streaming and video schedule for next month because I'm gonna be in so many different places. My new job, I'm gonna be working like 3 till 11 p.m., which means that's definitely gonna have to change. But that does mean that when I get home,
Moving to sector.
uh,
A new facility.
it's a lot less tiring, and it's a lot more aligned with my actual
Research complete.
sort of natural sleep schedule because I
Moving to
am
sector.
usually my preferred time to sleep is between like 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. So that'll mean that I'm less
An
distracted
Imperial fleet is under attack.
when I'm home from work and should be able to spend a lot of the
Star Destroyer
summer
ready.
really working on the mod or the mods.
Destroyer here. Moving to sector.
And the 10th anniversary of Imperial Civil War is happening in June, so I'd like to be able to do something for that. I don't know what, but
Charge laser cannons.
that's something I'm going to think about until that time. Before anyone says anything, that's not going to be the release of
Research.
2.2. That would be pretty much impossible.
Troops and ordnance loaded.
Where
Awaiting
did my
orders.
ships go? Did I kill them all?
Captain reporting.
Oh, they made it. Never mind.
Captain reporting. Destroyer here. One of our systems is under attack. Research complete. Destroyer here. The Empire cannot afford such expenditures at the moment. Stormtroopers have secured a planet. Research complete. An Imperial fleet is under attack. Planet upgrade
Like,
complete.
for the first time in months, I've actually had a decent idea for the Empire of the Hand capital ship. So, I really hopefully will be able to get the model mostly done this weekend, if not completely done, and even maybe UV'd. Normally, I hate UVing, but with Substance Painter, it's just, the UVs are much easier to lay out because you're really just caring about the size, I guess, as opposed to connecting as many parts as possible.
Planet upgrade complete.
Because you're painting directly on the 3D object. Every time I stream, I just basically talk about how great Substance Painter is. They should really pay me, because, oh, such good stuff.
Stormtroopers have secured a planet.
But yeah, so
One of our
sometimes I just get
systems is under
Slever to
attack.
UV my models because I hate UVing and he likes it. But he's working on the ATTE for ICW right now, so I'm gonna let him keep doing that.
Star Destroyer ready.
Planet upgrade
Same thing with Robin and the Bellator.
Epsilon 6-4 reporting in.
hyperspace jump.
Then there's some other Lewis stuff that I'm gonna try to get Pox to do.
Star Destroyer
That's
ready.
most of what the team's been doing.
We require more Durasteel. Planet upgrade complete.
I've got a list of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the new ships we need to make for ICW. Like on top of like the Bellator rework,
Destroyer here.
the
En
ATTE,
route. Moving to sector.
the Torpedo Sphere.
Moving to sector.
Whether or not the Torpedo Sphere actually makes it into ICW, I don't know, actually. That'll depend on whether or not we think the role it fills is something that can actually exist in ICW,
Imperial fleet is
and my
under
gut feeling is
attack.
that it probably can't,
New facility.
unless we decide to go with the
Our supporting fleet is moving to its
semi-sustainable interpretation that it can attack other ships,
Carrot
which
Commander here.
is
A new facility is complete. A new facility is complete.
I'm gonna save this before something bad happens.
Carrot Commander here.
But yeah, so that would mean that for 1.0, as far as stuff we've redone,
A new
we'll have the
facility
Bellator done, the Ton Falk is
Carrot
done.
Commander here.
And then a lot of the other stuff is
Lancer frigate ready.
a lot of reskins that we're going to be doing for 1.1. Yeah, I really want to start getting to work on the supply rework,
Lancer frigate
because
ready.
I think that's going to be one of the biggest changes to make the game more enjoyable,
What are your
especially in the
orders?
later stages of it.
Moving to sector.
And I know a lot of people have been
Lancer frigate ready.
pretty curious about the newer factions that are coming out eventually, but that won't be in
facility is complete.
1.1. That'll be in 1.2 before we even get the first of those two
Carrot
in,
Commander here.
potentially 3.
Captain here.
So
Fire for effect.
we pretty much decided what we're doing first.
Heavy cruisers.
We won't
standing
say
by.
anything until we've actually gotten most of it done, because I hate to announce stuff before we're sure we can do it.
Captain here. Hangar deck secure. Fire for effect. All guns fire. Dreadnought cruiser ready.
Yeah, we're already doing the extra 3 factions for Imperial Civil War.
Destroyer here.
So like, the next versions of the mods are going to be pretty huge. Like 1.1 should be when Ascendancy really comes together.
Carrot
And
Commander
2.2
here.
for ICW, there's pretty significant changes to it, even now. So
Stormtroopers have secured a planet.
Carrot Commander here. What are your orders? Carrot Commander here.
Come on, Reese. So much crystal. Durasteel. Tabana. Not crystal. I'm sorry. Don't kill me.
Upgrade complete.
Carrot Commander here.
Then of course we've got to start working on our Clone Wars mods. All the Clone Wars mods we're going to make, because we all love the Clone Wars.
A new facility is complete.
Destroyer here. Moving to sector.
I mean, I say that, but like 33% of the Pestar Alignment roster is Clone
Heavy
Wars
cruiser
units.
standing by.
Are Clone Wars units.
Reporting.
Is
Reporting.
comprised of Clone Wars units.
A new facility is complete.
An Imperial fleet is under attack. Understood.